about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K. Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, welcome to the New York Knicks podcast, episode 685. I am Jay. How you doing, Mark?
How do you think I'm doing, Jay?
Probably not great. That's
Can I
what
tell
think.
you? So, Game 6. Obviously, we all know the outcome already. But leading up to it, Knicks win Game 5. Jay and I would do a podcast. We're super excited, and I was like, you know, what would be awesome. I had taken my son to last round, the Celtics series. I paid a ridiculous amount of money to see the Celtics beat the crap out of the Knicks. And by the way, the last couple times I've taken my son to MSG, I took him. The Celtics got crushed. Took him to a regular season game against Detroit. We lost. I took him Game 7 against Indiana last year. We lost. I took him to a MLK, a Martin Luther King, the year before, after the OG trade, when the Knicks were beating everyone. We saw them lose, despite the fact they beat everyone that short straight. We got the only loss, basically. So my record with taking my son to MSG is not great. That said, Jay's like, just why'd you do this to us?
I'm so mad at you. I'm so mad at you.
Okay, so the Knicks, for road games, have watch parties. They have watch parties outdoors, but they have a watch party indoors in MSG, just like you're going to the game. It's $10 per ticket. You can buy seats to sit anywhere, basically. You get in MSG. They have the game is shown on the giant. They have a giant jumbotron, basically, on all four sides of their screens. They treat it basically like almost a regular season game. They have dancers. They have like contests. They have all the stuff in between commercials. It's actually an awesome experience if the Knicks win. But I was like, you know what? It would be awesome to take him to this thing. Like, why not for Game 6? It'd be awesome. It would just be a father-son, fantastic night. And the tickets originally did not go on sale on Friday. They're usually like 2 days before they go, like the day right after they win. By 12 noon the next day, according to people online, the tickets are up for sale. But they weren't up for sale because the Knicks were trying to avoid me cursing them or me jinxing them. But I saw they weren't up at 12. I was checking every hour, like 24 hours. I was texting Jay at 11 a.m. on Saturday, yesterday, and suddenly they're for sale. I bought them. I'm so excited. I get tickets in the lower bowl, which I normally can't afford. We go there. Awesome atmosphere. Right before the game starts, they do the T-shirt toss. We're never anywhere even close to where the T-shirt toss, like where we can get a T-shirt. First T-shirt they throw of the night. First T-shirt goes right to me. I hand to my son. I'm like, this is going to be our night. This is a good sign. That was the last good thing that happened to us.
I can't believe you even risked the Mark MSG curse on an elimination game.
It's weird because I did go to one game this year without my son. Knicks won.
Yeah.
It's the combination of us two, or just maybe my son is cursed. I don't know.
I think it might just be your son. Yeah.
I don't know, but because they win when he doesn't go. And to be fair, a couple of years ago in Game 1 against Indiana, Game 1 against Cleveland, my son did go, and we beat the crap out of Cleveland. So that was the last. Actually, that was the last time we saw a win. But we've seen a lot of losses. Way too many losses. Anyway, so there's a good chance I cursed the Knicks last night, or my son cursed the Knicks, or the combination. Or I cursed by bringing him to the game. Anyway, so the best way for our podcast to end. This is not our last episode, by the way. We're gonna have maybe 2 episodes to follow this next week. Anyway, the best way for our show to really end, though, is for the Knicks to not win the title because I got in their way.
Kayla says she thinks the Knicks, if they had the same lineup from last year, they would have made it. And that Cat needs to be traded.
Yeah. So, 2 things. Those are 2 things. So, one, if the Knicks don't make, well, first of all, iHeart was gone no matter what. So that's like, let's not pretend iHeart was coming
back.
So
she also said, I wish they would have just paid Hartenstein. The stupid cap rules, they were only able to offer him what they offered him. They were not allowed to offer him a penny more. it's
they
a dumb
offered him
role.
the max amount, and Oklahoma offered more.
Triple,
and-
like triple. So what do you
Yeah, yeah.
can't
And
get
there's
mad
nothing-
at
I
him
guess-
for that. But
I guess the year 3 is not guaranteed. Whatever it is, either way, he got a lot more money. It was an extra $10 million a year more the Knicks could offer. How do you say no? There's no way he could stay no. And also, he's in the finals now, so I mean, he probably made the right call.
yeah,
But he left here, and the Bridges trade. What? By the way, did it go from like fuck them picks to fucking picks?
if it turns out that the Knicks are like one pick short for Giannis, then it's going to be like a really bad trade.
So if the Knicks get Bridges, but they don't trade for Cat, they keep Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, I have a hard time believing the Knicks would not be exactly where they were. Like, really, don't have Cat, you have Randle, and then Randle, his last game against Oklahoma, actually, I think he had
He had two
He didn't
bad
have
games in the Oklahoma series.
yeah. But either way, I think with the fact you have Dante off the bench, Knicks either way go to the conference finals. I really find it hard to believe otherwise. Would they beat Indiana? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. You think they would? You think if they had Dante and they had Randall, did they beat beat Indiana?
I don't know. It's close. So Carlisle outcoached Tibbs.
Yes.
Like really bad. There's actually a clip now. I don't know if you saw it, where it's after a timeout, and Brunson hedges on a pick, and they whatever they did, it went in. They passed it in for a layup, and you saw the bench all walk over to Carlisle and high five him. Like, he called it. He knew exactly what Brunson was going to do, and he knew how to counter that. And stuff like that was happening the whole series. And, Tibbs outcoached Missoula last series, but Carlisle outcoached Tibbs this
Tibbs
series.
has been around for a long time. He's a really good coach, despite whatever fans think. He's a really good coach. He's gotten the Knicks this far. Carlisle has been in the league for a long time and has a great track record. He's a really good coach also.
Here's also, I can't put it all on Tibbs. So we were talking about last time, for the Knicks to win, they have to shut down Halliburton. And we were talking about how they were trying to do full court presses and cover him further from the basket. And they tried doing that again in Game 6. The problem is, I guess Bridges wasn't fast enough, because Halliburton would just run across the half court line like almost unimpeded. Like, Bridges just couldn't keep up with him. So it ruined the whole strategy. In theory, that was the right strategy. It just didn't work.
Here's what they should do. Here's what they should have done yesterday. Every time they made a basket, they should immediately caught the basket at the ball as it was going through the hoop, thrown it somewhere, and take the delay game penalty. Get like 50 delay of game penalties, because that's the only thing they could do to stop them from running. Oh my God. Do you really think Tibbs didn't say to his team, hey, run down the floor? Tibbs recognized Tibbs would have to be brain dead not to recognize Indiana is pushing the ball every time. It is hard to beat that. They sprint, and certain Knicks maybe weren't sprinting. I don't know. I'm assuming Tibbs was like, hey guys, you have to be aware of this. I mean, Milwaukee played them. They were aware of this. It's just a tough strategy to beat.
I mean, I think they just didn't have guys that were fast enough. I mean, Obi and Siakam were just getting down the court like every time. I think what they were doing is, as soon as Pacer jacked up a shot, they were just, or Nick jacked up a shot, they were just running down the court. They weren't even going for the rebound. They were just like,
They weren't. That's the thing. You have to basically, what you need to do is the moment, like the Knicks going for offensive rebounds, fine. But you also need to, the minute the ball, if you're not near the rebound, you have to sprint right away. You have to be aware right away. And also, you can't just sprint. You have to also be aware of where the player is.
Yeah.
There was one play yesterday where Cat is late down the floor. Halliburton is standing at the three-point line, uncovered. Cat just runs right by him and just looks around, who am I going to cover?
Yeah.
They pass the ball to Hallie, and nails a three. I'm like, Cat, what are you doing? You're the last guy down the floor. And you just go down there just I have to get there, then figure out what I'm going to do. keep your head up, look who's uncovered, and cover them. I know Hallie's not normally your guy, but like the dude standing at the 3-point line, you literally ran by him. A wide open Hallie, you ran right by him, turned around and was like, where do I go now?
Yeah.
But like, so they also are helped by the fact that they have a really deep lineup. Everyone is on board to sprint. You need a deep lineup to be able to sprint all the time.
You do. But they were also, all right, here.
Can I, before you even go into that, can I just one quick point?
Sure.
Leon Rose. I know you're an avid listener to our podcast, of course. In the future, if there's a player you feel like the Knicks just like, hey, he doesn't fit in our system. He's a good guy. I owe him a favor to put him in the right situation. Trade him to the Western Conference. Do not give him away to the Pacers. I'm talking about Obi for nothing. Literally nothing. He's a main part of their rotation. You gave him away for pennies. Not even pennies. Literally not even pennies. You gave him away for nothing because you felt bad for Obi. You have to be a little bit more of a mercenary in this. And I don't care how bad you feel for Obi. If you don't want to get much back for him, that's fine. There has to be a team in the Western Conference that will take him for free. You gave him the Pacers for free, and we got screwed. And I mean, in Game 5, Obi helped us by missing a ton of threes. But Game 6, he hurt us. And he hurt us a couple times in the series. And, like, it is, you cannot give a guy away. No, I don't know any other team that gives a guy away to their opponent, basically.
So I have two sets of numbers for you.
Yeah.
23 and 17 and 30 and 12. Do you know what those are?
23 and 17.
Yep. And 30 and
Okay.
12.
I'm going to say 23 points and 17 assists from Hallie.
No.
Okay.
23 and
That's a lot of assists.
17 is the Knicks assists and turnovers, and 30 and 12 is the Pacers assists and turnovers. That was the game. The Knicks kept turning the ball over. There wasn't a lot of ball movement. They made dumb passes. Indiana's defense was way better than I thought it would be.
So the Knicks, their defense is good. I mean, their defense was definitely good, but Knicks just had a lot of sloppy plays.
They had a lot of sloppy plays, but I don't want to downplay Indiana's defense. Then every point the Knicks had looked like it was tough.
It did, but I don't want to downplay these turnovers. The Knicks gave the ball away too often.
17
There were
times.
too many plays where they just like did a like sloppy like, oh, I'm just gonna pass into traffic. I'm gonna pass. Like, you gotta have to be more careful with the ball. The Knicks just weren't like they were. Like, my son was like, what are they doing? Like, why are they not being careful with the ball? Do they not know this game matters?
Yeah.
And I want to give you a different stat, Jay, of why the Knicks lost. Because I think the turnover, they had a bunch of turnovers early in the game. And the turnovers hurt them later, of course. But I'll give you a different stat.
Okay.
That I think is even more important.
Okay.
9 for 32, 17 for 33.
That has got to be the 3-point shooting.
Yes, that's the difference in the game. I whatever you're saying about the Pacers hit a lot of threes. The Knicks struggled from three throughout the night. That's the difference in the game. By like the Knicks are playing in a league, and they got pretty far this year. But like they're playing in a league where you have to hit threes to win, and the Knicks have built a roster that's just not a good 3-point shooting team. Like it just, I know in the regular season maybe they didn't shoot a ton of threes in the regular season. They were low volume, decent percentage, but overall, it's just not a good 3-point team. And like it's really gonna be hard to win the play. I mean, the Pacers are a good 3-point shooting team, and I don't know that the regular season stats. I don't know what they are, but in the playoffs, the Pacers hit a lot of threes. The Knicks just missed a ton of threes, and like Towns is supposed to be a good 3-point shooter. Sometimes he hits some, sometimes he doesn't. The Knicks also just shoots low volume where he's used to be higher volume. Brunson misses a bunch of threes. OG missed a bunch of threes. Bridges doesn't seem comfortable shooting threes. Hart's not comfortable shooting threes. They have no one really. They play regularly off the bench. I mean, Shamet had 4 for 7 from 3, but I feel like a lot of those threes happened late in the game when it didn't matter anymore. The Knicks just don't have they have almost no one that hits threes on the bench. Like you have to be able to hit 3-pointers. It's just it's really really hard to win without 3-point shooting. It's amazing the Knicks got so far in the Eastern Conference without 3-point shooting.
I mean, OG did everything else awesome. He went ice cold from three.
He went ice cold. I mean, he had a decent game overall yesterday, but he went ice cold this whole series. He
Yeah.
was not good on
This,
offense.
this
Good on
is
defense.
this is his 3-point shooting in the Pacers series. 2 for 8, 2 for 6, 4 for 6, 1 for 7, 1 for 7, 2 for 7.
That's brutal. That's really brutal. Also, Bridges. Someone did an appreciation post on a big Nick account. Did an appreciation post from Mikal Bridges for what he did for in the postseason. I sent it to Jay and asked me, was this sarcastic? Because I can't tell. And Bridges was great he had some great moments in the Celtics series and great fourth quarters. He was there. He was awful in the Pacers series. I like this. He was not good. Do you think he was good in the Pacers series?
No, I don't think they get past Boston without him, but he was
Right.
he was bad in the Pacers series.
Right. Like he's like had his moments in the Detroit series, but like he was not very good in this series. I like the Knicks. The Knicks have a lot of flaws for a team that made it really far. Their two best players, it's hard to have them on the court together during the playoffs.
I don't know, like it worked fine against Detroit and Boston. I just think Indiana's a bad matchup. They're too fast to have. Like Brunson and Towns works against the slower paced teams, but against the Pacers, yeah, Brunson and Towns were much better separated.
Just a quick point on OG also. So OG, you would say he's an elite defender?
Yeah,
Okay. Why can he not guard Siakam?
Siakam's really good.
He cannot guard Siakam. He didn't. Siakam, who's the MVP of the series, he couldn't do anything against Siakam. It was unbelievable how, like, OG, whatever you want to say, I mean, Siakam, he's a very good player. I don't know. I mean, they knew each other from Toronto. They both played in Toronto. Maybe Siakam just has his number, but he did nothing against. Like, what should they have done against Siakam?
I don't know. Like, I really don't know because Precious maybe.
That's what I was listening to another podcast and they mentioned Precious, and maybe Precious would have been a good idea because he's athletic. I was wondering if Towns put Towns just a big body on him. The Mitch couldn't do anything against him, and chances are Towns was probably not the answer against him either. Maybe Precious, I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, Siakam definitely had a much better series against the Knicks than he did Cleveland or Milwaukee. He was no slouch against those other teams, but he just went off against the Knicks.
He was just ridiculous. Yeah,
Well, you know what? It was every other game actually.
Yeah, it was more than every other game, but yeah, close to it. I mean, also last night, like Thomas Bryant was 3 for 4 from three. I didn't even realize Thomas Bryant could shoot threes. That's the depth they have. Like Pacers just have a ridiculous amount of depth. The Knicks just don't have depth.
I mean, they had decent. That's the other thing that kind of got me annoyed. Like, we're at game, 3 of the conference finals, and then Tibbs is like, "Hey, let's see what our bench can do." And
But in fairness, I know your point is that like they should have been doing this all season.
yeah,
If they were going all season really using the bench, would it be any better? Because
Maybe.
maybe, but like DeLon Wright, good on defense. Was he really going to do anything on offense? Like he had 2 3-point shots yesterday. He missed them, and you're like, Landry Shamet like hit some shots later, but like, campaign was terrible. He got lots of minutes throughout the regular season. He was terrible. The bench is just not that good. The Knicks flat out had the worst bench of any team in the playoffs.
the bench is not. The bench is
an
not,
issue.
It's not as bad as it seems, though. I just think when you throw out a bunch of looks that you haven't seen before, you're more likely to have miscommunications and turnovers and the stuff we saw.
But it's not like the bench players were having it was like Josh Hart passing to Mitchell Robinson or passing to it was Hart. Bridges had 5 turnovers yesterday. How the hell and part of the issue also was they were like, Brunson, we're not going to have you bring up the ball up court anymore because don't want you to get pressed anymore, and we don't want you as tired. So Bridges, you have to handle the ball, and Bridges is like, I'm not good at this, but okay, I'll try.
Yeah, yeah. Hart and Towns had the worst fast break I've ever seen in my life.
There's a lot of worse. You know, the thing is, it was what 54-50 at halftime.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like. By the way, watching it at the viewing party, if you do get a chance to do this next year, you should 100% do it. It was the place is maybe 70% full. Everyone's going insane. To go to the watch party, you have to be a pretty diehard Knicks fan to do this in the first place. So everyone's so into the game. Like, it was an awesome atmosphere if they won the game. And you know what also was a killer yesterday? The mysterious, and the Knicks were already down, but McBride out of bounds 3-point shots.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the replay, you had to look really closely to find him out of bounds. And, like, it's like, are they really, like, I get if he stepped out, it was clear. It wasn't clear on the replay that he was out of bounds.
I mean, I can't even complain about the refs because the Knicks just
The Knicks
the Knicks got beat. They got beat. Whatever strategy the Pacers were using worked. They did what we were trying to do to Halliburton. You shut down Halliburton, you win the game. They shut down Brunson, they won the game. It's
also as whatever faults you have about the Knicks and all the problems, if they don't have an historic meltdown in game one, and also they had a historic comeback. They had a great comeback later in the series. But if they don't have that historic meltdown, if Hallie's shot doesn't take the weirdest bounce you've ever seen a ball bounce and go in, if that doesn't happen, Game 7 is Monday night.
Or Nemhard taking 6 miracle threes that all go in, which he's never done before and will never do again in his entire career. So
right, he gets hotter than he's ever been in his life.
It was just miracle after miracle after miracle. You're right. You're right. It was like tonight's game sucked, but we still would have been going to Game 7 if that didn't happen.
Right, and like the Tibbs could adjust. Like, there's adjustments you can always make. I mean, the Knicks obviously won Game 5 pretty well. Like, it's just like there were adjustments, and then like Carlisle outcoaches Tibbs in Game 6. Tibbs can come back and outcoach him in Game 7.
Yeah.
It's possible. To act like the Pacers are another level of the Knicks is ridiculous. The Knicks 2 years in a row came very close to beating them, and the Pacers had some good things that fell their way.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the NBA is players have bad games. I mean, not everybody is gonna be like Jordan and just kick ass every single night. Like Halliburton had a terrible game in Game 5, so it just happened to be an elimination game where they had some like and everybody had a bad game, but that happens in basketball. And yeah, if you don't choke away Game 1, the Knicks could be going to the finals. So all the people saying blow up the team and trade Bridges, trade Hart, trade Cat, get rid of Tibbs. Like, I don't know if we need to go that extreme. I think maybe you get 1 or 2 more better. You can upgrade the bench.
I think it was Kevin O'Connor. I think it was him, and he was a very respected voice. Works, I think, at the Ringer. Made a comment to like, well, the Knicks have to trade Cat. I'm like, really? They have to trade Cat? I get if they can make a Giannis trade. Outside of that, I feel like you run it back with like it's insane to trade. The Knicks came so close to making the finals, and now you're like blow the team up. People are having like insane reactions. Oh, we need to fire Tibbs. This is the furthest we got in 25 years, and we were very close to beating the Pacers. And you want to fire the coach? We need to get rid of one of our 2 superstars because like the series didn't go our way. Like, we're one of the last 4 teams. You can't have an insane overreaction.
One of the last 3 teams.
Last 3 teams, yes. Last 3 teams. Like, you can't have an insane overreaction.
No. It's they can make some peripheral changes. They'll probably change 1 out of the top like 6. Like,
why don't you just say Mitch? Why are you?
I don't even know if it's Mitch. It could be Bridges. It could be Hart. I don't know.
It's hard. Like, the thing is, like, Cat, I get the issues on defense, but the Knicks, right, they made it work in the Boston series. They made it work. Like, they can make it work with those kind of things. And obviously, Indiana exploited it, but like, and the Knicks almost won 3 of the games despite that.
Well, there was also a few games that the Knicks won because of Cat. So
yeah. Like
He's
went
just he's a mixed bag. When he's off,
right.
he's really bad, but when he's on, he's unstoppable.
People are acting like he has some untradeable contract. He was what, second team All NBA or third team All NBA this year.
Yeah, yeah.
He had like a pretty good year. He's an All Star. He's a very very talented player with flaws, but you're really only trading him if you can upgrade the roster. How are you trading him to upgrade the roster? Unless you're getting Giannis, who are you trading him for?
Right, exactly.
Like, are you trading for Kevin Durant? Like, that would be a smart move.
You can't trade away players just because they're not perfect. Yes, if there's an upgrade, 100% trade them. But it's also hard to do that because other GMs aren't going to trade you a better player unless you're the Lakers.
Yeah. There was a funny thing on I saw it on TikTok. It was like a cartoon. It was like an animated thing, but it was they had Zion, and they were like, he's talking to the Lakers brass, and they're like, this is it. This is what you need to do. I'm sorry to become a Laker, but we're gonna make it happen. And he's like, really? You have to bring in rape charges against me? Yes, yes. We needed to completely get you released from the. we gotta get you released from your team. Like they'll New Orleans will be like, we're done with Zion. The Lakers will be like, oh, we picked him up and the charges were dropped.
So we got an email from Jorge. He writes, sending this while we're 3-1. Is Josh Hart the new Alec Burks? Meaning we got to trade a decent player for crumbs because Tibbs is misusing him.
Well, Alec Burks is not that amazing. Hart has a lot of. He's an imperfect player also. You would hope all these guys would spend the offseason looking through their failings and try to find a way. But they've also been in the NBA for a while. So Josh Hart's not going to be a willing shooter, willing offensive player regularly unless he's completely forced to, like he was last offseason. Towns, you can show all the video you want. Like I don't know if you read. Did you read the thing from did I send that to you? The thing from The Athletic today?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're talking about how Towns, a lot of his teammates throughout the season were like, or a lot of teammates just got really annoyed at Towns' defense.
Mm-hmm.
He is not an aggressive defender. He falls back too often. Do you think there's any way he's going to become a good defender at this point in his career?
I don't. He's been there almost 10 years in the league. But yeah, he was like going under screens, or there was one time where he just looked at I think Bridges, assuming that they would switch, but they didn't, and he didn't go back to his man. He kind of just stood there. And it's, a lot of times the guy he's covering just takes an open three because he doesn't close out aggressively enough. I mean, even the commentators were talking about how he's just like 5 feet off of Halliburton or whatever. And it's like, you're a little slower and they might run past you, but like, you got to at least get up. You can't give up the three. I'd rather give up a layup than a three.
By the way, he makes Randall look like a good defender.
He does.
Yeah, and Randall's pretty bad, obviously. I'm not saying Randall's good. In theory, year 2, the team gels more. And in year 2, Towns maybe figures out Tibbs' system a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possible? He gets a little better on defense? I don't know.
I mean, if they're pointing out things he's doing and he's receptive to it, he's never gonna be faster than some of these guys, but at least if he knows where to be, he's a big enough body where
He's a big body.
just get in the right spot at least. So it can happen. It's just I don't think it
in
will.
fairness, maybe some of this stuff also needs like off-season work on it. And he was traded right before training camp.
Yeah.
Did not have an off-season to really adapt, like maybe learn more. And he had obviously a full season to really learn this. But maybe Towns will take more time. I don't know. Hopefully he'll become a little bit better on defense. That would make a huge difference to this team. Also, again, maybe against a team that's not sprinting the whole time, maybe he looks a little better.
Well,
I mean, he didn't look that terrible against the Celtics.
I think also a big part of it is the last 5 teams that got into the finals all had the same starting lineup for multiple years. The Knicks added 2 starters to the lineup right before the season started. So a whole other year of continuity, they could look much better.
I think the bench just needs to look better. And Deuce can't be your best guy off the bench. It's just not. He's fine. He's a solid player. He's definitely a rotation type player. And all the numbers use that, this encore, he's not bad. he can't be your next guy. You need someone better.
The problem is they don't have a. I guess they could just go over the second apron.
Okay, why do you not go over the second apron this offseason? Like, what's the reason not to do it?
You can't trade a first round draft pick, which
What
they-
are we building? We're building. We're looking for the title. Like,
Right, right.
can you not trade a first round draft pick?
You can't aggregate salaries. The tax is a lot. I mean, they
There
make
are
it,
things.
they
Yeah.
make it once you go over the second apron, they make it very, very difficult to change the roster.
Also, we pretty much have to go over the second apron this offseason because right now, Bobby Marks posted the salaries for next year. The Knicks are up to guaranteed money. With guaranteed money, they're at 194 million. With PJ Tucker and Ariel Huckporty, and obviously Huckporty will be. I mean, Tucker will be traded. They're at 199. They are basically over the first apron immediately.
Yeah.
The second apron's 207, and that's also without Shamit. It's without a bench.
Yeah,
like
it's
like
without
just need-
Shamit, Payne, Wright, and Precious.
Yeah. So you have to like, even if you want to bring those guys, you have to bring someone back. I mean, you're like Tyler Kolek. I love him off. Maybe he'll be an okay NBA player. A point guard that can't play defense is not another undersized point guard is not going to be the answer. You might want to bring back like DeLon Wright, say for instance, who looked pretty decent. I think Huck Porty might be the answer for Mitch in the future.
Huckporty and maybe Daddy off the bench. I mean, I don't know. Some of the young guys are gonna have to pan out. You can't just keep drafting guys and not using them.
Well, I mean, in fairness, Huck Porty, they started using him. He got injured, and he came back right before the playoffs. So
Yeah,
like,
no, I get that, but
And
use the last
Kolek-
like 5 years of evidence.
Kolek's not any better than Campaign at this point. So like, and it just like you're not going to get that much out of Kolek. Everyone was a project basically.
Yeah.
McCullough was injured most of the season, and Daddier, they said it was a project to begin with, and maybe he'll develop. But like,
Yeah,
Knicks don't have a first round pick this year. I hope they have a second round pick.
they do.
Um,
They do.
so-
but they're going to have to go hard on the development of these young guys because with
They
the
need help.
apron the way it is and the high salaries they have, like you're going to have some of these guys pan out. Ellie said some of our best players have the lowest IQs defensively or offensively, or a horrific combo of both. It's true.
That's mean. An accurate mean statement. I mean, I'm obviously not. They just basketball IQ is that's what he meant. And we just make some bad decisions. Huck Porty, do you think Huck Porty? So they have Mitch for one more season. Is there a chance that basically Huck Porty can take over Mitch's job a year from now?
I
Like,
can't
not next
see
year, but
Huckporty being as good as Mitch. Like Mitch is a elite rebounder and defender.
or I guess maybe you can use both. Maybe Huck Porty could be your other center. I don't know. He should be able to be your backup center next year.
Yeah, I mean, if you do the two big man lineup, maybe Huckporty could be Mitch's backup. Yeah, do that.
He showed some decent flashes this season.
He did. He did.
And he also seems like he has a much better
Offensive game.
offensive. Like Mitch is very limited on offense. He seems like he's much better on offense. Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I don't know what and like the guys to trade. You could trade. Obviously, PJ Tucker is there to be traded. And they also they noted basically in the Athletic piece that the Knicks were talking about what they needed at the end of the season, and did they need a guy who could contribute on the floor or a guy who could contribute in the locker room. And they said they got PJ Tucker because they thought they needed more like veteran help in the locker room.
Great.
Well, apparently it helped. A lot of players said it was really helpful having him in the locker room.
Okay.
Who were they going to get that was going to play?
I mean, TJ Warren.
Do you think? I'm assuming the Knicks had enough time to see TJ Warren in Westchester and just said he's probably not going to help in the NBA.
I don't know. They said that with Shamit and Wright, and there they are in Game 3 of the conference finals.
In fair, they were on the roster. TJ Warren, any team could have signed, and the entire NBA said, "Nah."
Yeah, what? To be fair, most
He wasn't signed by the Knicks didn't own his rights.
No, I know. To be fair, most of the NBA has like a solid 9-man rotation already.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot wrong. So, here's a question: do you fire Tibbs, do you think there's another coach that will get us to the next level? I mean, not it's always possible, and you don't have to pick a coach right now. But do you think? What do you think the Knicks actually do?
I think they keep Tibbs. I mean,
I
I think as soon as
yeah
they beat Boston, Tibbs was staying.
yeah I agree. I thought Tibbs would be fired only because I didn't think they get past the second round. They beat Boston, and also even you could argue if they were swept by the Pacers, they went to Game 6 against the Pacers. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way Tibbs is being fired. Would you fire him? You get to Leon Rose goes, "Hey Jay, I found your podcast and I was going to call you and have you to make a decision for me."
I probably not. I mean, Tibbs isn't perfect, but the Celtics didn't fire Missoula, and Tibbs outcoached him pretty handily. So like, it's not like Tibbs is the worst coach out there. He's not. Apparently, he's not as good as Carlisle, but he's
Carlisle won. Carlisle was there with Dallas when they won, right?
Hmm.
Was he? Hang on.
I thought he was there during the. No, I don't think he was. I don't remember. I thought they got him like a year after they won or something like that.
Served as the head coach of the Pistons and the Mavericks, winning the NBA Finals with the latter. With the Yeah, he was the coach of the Mavericks.
Ellie
Yeah,
says
he won.
Ellie says, "How is Cat's first instinct on defense? Do the worst possible thing consistently. I've never seen anything like this."
But I was gonna put. I have a friend who was a Dallas fan who was like, I forgot. I completely had just left my mind that like he was like, yeah, you have our old coach going against you. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot Carlisle was even freaking with Dallas. Then I remember the fact that he was there for a title. Great. He coached pretty well in that series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why Cat's first instinct on defense. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's just the weird stuff he was doing. Like, he's been in foul trouble so often, and then he's just like grabbing hands and pushing and like doing all this like. Do you think they're just ignoring you? They're gonna,
I think I'm wondering if they have a full offseason with him, they can work on some of this stuff, which they was harder. But Minnesota had to be working on this stuff also. Like him hooking on offense to get the guy's arm off him. You just can't do that. Just don't hook the
it's
arm.
like you're twice the size of this guy. Why are you hooking his arm also?
I understand you feel like they're fouling you, but you can't foul them. You cannot throw an elbow. You cannot try to get them out of the way. It's unbelievable. Anthony writes.
Jay Shady said Mike Malone. I feel like he was the Nuggets coach, right? I feel like the Nuggets had the same exact.
They fired him for a reason also, and they didn't want
Well, I just feel like the Nuggets fans had the same exact complaints that the Knicks fans do about Tibbs with the heavy minutes for the starters and not being creative enough. So I don't know.
I'm pretty sure if Tibbs coached, say, Indiana, he would not have the same. He would have a 9-man rotation. Tibbs has to respect the player to give them a lot of playing time. Guys have to earn the playing time. When the Knicks were deeper last year in that big run they had after the OG trade, it was no issue guys getting minutes.
Right. Yeah, it was a 9-man rotation with a deeper team.
Yeah, the minutes weren't so crazy. The minutes get crazy when you have less guys available, basically, or less guys that are worth playing. If he coached Indiana, he would have been saying, he'd be like, well, I guess maybe he doesn't love Tim. I love Obi, but he would have been fine if he has depth. If you had Dante DiVincenzo on the Knicks roster right now, he wouldn't be like, no, I can't play Dante because we have a strict rotation.
True.
I don't know. Anthony Arista writes, why is the pain so real?
Because you just kind of knew. Just if you've been a Knicks fan since the 90s, you just deep down you knew that the seasons don't just end; they end in heartbreak.
No, you know why the pain is real? That's not true. You're wrong. You said that pain is real because we know everything ends in heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
If we knew everything ended in heartbreak, if we were fully aware, it wouldn't hurt so much. It's that we believe that the season won't end in heartbreak.
Well, it's
we buy all in. We believe at some point the Knicks. In the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? We won Game 5. We're gonna come back. We're gonna win. This is gonna be. We had all these 3 20-point comebacks. Like, we're gonna make this happen. At least get to the fun. Like, you just start believing, and that's when they pull the rug out from you. That's when they stab you in the heart. That's why it hurts, because you start believing.
Yeah.
If the Knicks, it didn't hurt in the 17-win season. It didn't hurt did it really hurt in all the years the Knicks didn't make the playoffs? You were just frustrated, but it hurt.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You
having that like deep down feeling that like a couple things go differently, you could have advanced. Like that's where it hurts.
It's like if you sleep with some random girl and she doesn't want to talk to you after, you don't really care. That doesn't really hurt. You're dating someone for a long time, and then she breaks up with you. It hurts because you loved her. That's where the pain is, basically. The Knicks are like, you love the Knicks. They're like, yeah, sorry. Will writes, there are 7 rotation players slated to be on the roster next season. The starting 5 plus Deuce and Mitch, and they have 1 tradable first-round pick. Is there even a hypothetical Giannis trade that works for everyone? No.
I mean, wouldn't it have to be like Towns and Bridges or something like that? Towns and Hart?
Hey, Milwaukee, can we interest you in a guy that doesn't play defense?
I mean, they seem to be pretty interested in those guys. They got Kuzma and Lillard, so
That's true. Kuzma and Dame. Yeah, why not?
Seems like a perfect fit.
Right. The trade would have to either be are the Bucks into the second apron?
I don't think so, but I think they're like right there too.
Because I'm wondering if that's an issue also with the trade. I heard something. There was something Bill Simmons mentioned about an apron issue with them.
Oh yeah.
I could have misheard him. But yeah, in theory, the trade would have to be either Cat and either, I guess, Bridges or Bridges and OG.
Yeah.
Would you do Bridges and OG? Let's say Milwaukee's like, if you even mention Cat, we never speak again. We want Bridges and we want OG. Salaries match up there. Do you do it? We're consolidating even more.
I know that's
we're going with a 4-man rotation the rest of the
I know it's so thin. It's so thin after that.
Can you get some vet minimum contracts and round it out and win with a team that is Brunson, Cat, Giannis, Deuce, and Hart for a starting rotation? Can you make that team into a title? And God knows what's on the bench. I mean, probably DeLon Wright will come back for a minimum deal. Probably Shamet. These guys, maybe Shamet gets a little bit of money somewhere else. I don't know. Like, you can build an NBA team out of this. Is that better than is Giannis better than having both OG and Bridges? Probably.
From what I could see, Giannis for Towns works. So I don't know.
Trade machine,
but then I'm also looking at the Bucks cap, and they're under the second apron.
Oh, okay. You know why it doesn't work though? There's no way unless Giannis goes to Milwaukee's ownership and goes, listen, you guys have been good to me, but I've been good to you. I got you a title. You have to do me on this, solid on this. I am only going to the Knicks, and I'm only doing the trade unless you get Cat. That's that. Those are the 2 parameters.
Well, I mean, he could say he's only going to the Knicks, and if he does, Cat's the only trade that does work.
Wait, but OG and McBridges doesn't work?
We don't
trade machine?
We don't need to talk about that.
It does work.
Yeah, I don't
it
know.
Obviously works. Yes, if you could swap Cat out for Giannis, you do it in a heartbeat. But there really isn't anyone else. And by anyone else, obviously there are other NBA players that are better, but there's really no one else where the money lines up to make it work.
Right.
Like who else would you that makes that kind of money? You're not trading for Jimmy Butler or Joel Embiid. You're not trading for Paul George. You're not trading for
Devin Booker.
You're not trading for Devin Booker. You're not trading for I don't know. You're not trading for Kawhi, who's going to be who'd be injured immediately
Yeah.
for the rest of it. Like he immediately go like, "Hey, I'm injured, but I'm going to pretend I'm going to come back for the rest of this contract."
Right.
You're not trading for Zion. There's what trade are you doing? There really aren't too many trades. Look at the. It's not like the Pacers are going to be like, "Oh, great series. Sorry you lost, Knicks." Oh, Pascal Siakam for Towns, a great idea. What trade are you doing? Like where the other team's going to be up for it also in some level.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We don't need to talk about trades.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, we got to run it back, Jay.
Pretty much. I mean, definitely need to make some tweaks, but
Oh, there are some tweaks that need to be made.
yeah, but yeah, I think the core is coming back.
And you just hope like Cat can get a mildly better on defense. He can also figure out like how to not drive wildly, figure out how to not get offensive fouls. You hope Brunson can just be Brunson. He delivers most of the time. You hope Mikal Bridges can find out what it's like to draw contact.
Or get 5% faster so he can stay in front of Halliburton. Do you think McBride could have stayed in front of Halliburton? I mean, the problem with a
I
full
don't
court
know.
press is a full court press doesn't work if you can't stay in front of the guy you're trying to press.
But it's not even just staying in front of Halliburton, because it's like he also is a wonderful passer. So like you're not faster than the ball. So like he's Halliburton from like he gets the ball a second later, he's passed the ball 40 feet to like Siakam.
Well, that's
or
only when they're
Obi.
doing a fast break. Like
They do a fast break on every
they
play.
they do it a lot, but there was
Like-
also a lot of times where Halliburton was just went over half court, and Bridges is basically running alongside him because he couldn't get in front of him, and that's not a full court press. That's just running alongside him.
He's really fast.
He's
I don't
very
know.
fast. Yeah,
It's also like the Knicks were, in some ways, the Pacers were allowed to foul the Knicks. The Knicks weren't seem to be allowed to foul the Pacers on every play. I don't know. There was also like throughout the year, there's been players have said made things about like they've alluded to the fact that some guys feel like they need to get their touches and are frustrated not getting their touches. And Siakam was interviewed, and he was like, I don't care if I score or not. I just want like it doesn't matter where." I think Carlisle has them playing even better team ball than the Tibbs has
Yeah.
his team play.
3 out of
And
the 6 games against the Knicks, Siakam scored under 20.
Yeah, I mean, like part of it also is he has a couple guys like the Knicks. They've played together longer. They've seen. I mean, Siakam's only been there for a year. Like he came there halfway through last year, but he came to a team where like Naismith, like he was the Celtics got rid of him. He was a high draft. The Celtics got rid of him, so he was already a bit humbled, and he's happy to be a role player. Denbart, happy to be a role player. Miles Turner's gone through so much crap with the Pacers that like, and also at some point where his contract was, the people were acting like he was untradeable. He's probably happy to be a role player also.
He's probably
Obi's
just happy
a
not
role-
to be on the trading block, to be honest.
Yeah, they have a lot of guys who egos like, and even Siakam's probably like, I won the title with Toronto. I had the highs there. I had the lows. I know it worked best when we played team ball. Whereas the Knicks, who also play team ball, and guys sacrifice, but like
Still a lot of ISO hero ball going on.
there's like ISO hero ball. Towns probably thinks he got to get his. OG clearly wanted to be more and get more touches on offense. Bridges wants his touches on offense. I don't know.
Okay.
Leon Rose has a tough job ahead of him, but you know what? It's a tough job for 29 29 GMs in the league or team presidents. Like every year, everyone loses besides one team.
Yeah.
So, and do you think India? So, the Knicks beating OKC? We'd probably say no. Do you think what's the Pacers series going to be like against OKC? Did they give OKC a run, or did OKC just just beat the crap out?
I think it's going to be closer than people think. I still think the Pacers take them to like 6.
I think it's going to be a 7-game series.
Yeah. I think people are underrating the Pacers and maybe overrating OKC at this point.
Yeah, I mean the Pacers are pretty good. I mean OKC also was like they beat Milwaukee, but like that went to 7. The Pacers are a pretty good team. I think the fact that the Pacers have a lot of depth is going to make a big. It's going to match the fact that OKC has a lot of depth also.
I want the Pacers to lose, but if they lose in like 7, will you feel that vindicated New York at all? Like,
To be honest, Jay, the finals don't exist. I'm done with basketball.
Yeah.
I'm moving on to the Mets. I don't think I can watch the finals.
I'm probably
I
not-
really-
I'm gonna be box score watching pretty much.
I don't know. And part of me wants to watch because I feel like it is an interesting matchup. Part of me also wants this to be the lowest rated NBA finals in the history of basketball.
All right, we are about out of time, so we are going to be doing our farewell episode in a little over a week.
Well, we're gonna have. I think the two things we want to do. A couple things we want to do with our. Maybe we do 2 farewell episodes. I don't know. The things I would like to do, Jay. I want to do one episode where we go through all the years that we covered the rosters and just talk through our memories of covering these rosters. I'd like to thank the fans who supported us. Maybe call out some fans in particular who have been great. And I really wouldn't mind doing an episode right after free agency kicks off just to see what the Knicks do. Would you be up for doing an episode right after? Right. I mean, we might also do a couple episodes here or there next year. Our finale might have a couple episodes after next year.
Right. The weekly episodes are done, but we will pop in from time to time.
But don't you kind of want to do an episode right after free agency and the draft just to talk about what the Knicks do?
If they do something interesting, yes.
Well, then just tell me you don't want to do a show, Jay.
No, I mean, if
You qualify by interesting.
yeah, if it's free agents and they don't get any, then I don't want to talk about it.
I have a question, Jay. If the Knicks this offseason trade Towns straight up for Giannis, is that going to make you want to go back and doing the show?
No, but I'll do an episode about it.
What if they get Giannis and Michael Jordan somehow becomes 30 years younger and joins the Knicks, along with Patrick Ewing, who also comes 30 years younger?
Okay, now we're getting ridiculous. We will be back.
I think we got ridiculous when we thought that Towns would be traded straight up for Giannis.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you for listening. nyknickspodcast@gmail.com, nyknickspodcast on all social media. And, yeah, thanks for listening, and stay tuned for our 1 to 2 farewell episodes coming up in a little over a week.
We'll do the farewell episode, then maybe I'll get you to do a recap of the interesting things that happened this offseason.
There you go. All right, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
It's all over.
It's time to go.
This is the end.
Say goodbye.